Hi, it's Lucy, and today I'm here to do my 2019 reading and booktube goals. Yeah, I do a video like this every year, and this year is no different. I have another video where I talk about how I did on last year's reading and booktube goals. That will be coming up very soon. But yeah, so here are the goals that I have for this year. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about my book buying ban. Not really. It's a book buying budget, I guess. So I'll talk about my reading goals first, and then at the end I'll talk about my booktube goals. I do also have personal goals, but I don't feel like that fits in this video. When I do my 2019 bullet journal setup, I might talk about those in there. Let me know if you want me to do that. If you care about my personal goals, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, so my first goal is a Goodreads reading challenge, the goal that a lot of people do. I feel like the majority of booktube, even if they don't do it, they still do it, you know? But my goal for 2019 is to read 100 books. The last time I read 100 books in a year, I think I was a freshman in high school. And yeah, that was the last time. And then I started to go downhill in my reading after that. So I don't know what that's going to say after this year. But this past year, I think I read 90-ish books in 2018. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't finished doing all the stats and stuff. But 100 is only 10 more books. And the majority of the books that I read, I feel like we're in the second half of the year after I got my new job and figured out my timing and stuff. So I feel like it is possible for me to do that, and that's what I'm going to try and do. My second goal is to reread 6 books. This is always a goal I have, just to make it easier for me mentally to reread books, because I always have it in the back of my mind when I pick up something to reread. Why would I reread that when I could read something new? So I do want to reread things, so this just helps me tell myself it's okay for me to reread them. The next couple of goals have to kind of do with diversity, I guess. I feel weird talking about it like that, but I can't think of a better way to say that. Broadly, I want to read a majority own voices novels. So that means I want 51% of the books that I read in 2019 to have been own voices stories, which if you don't know what that means, I'll leave some links down below, I guess. Basically, it's just that the author writes about a marginalized character, and the author and the character share that marginalization. And kind of to go with that, I want to read 12 books by Black authors. This is always a goal I have now, and last year I surpassed that by a lot. Not quite a lot, not as much as I would have liked, but 12 I feel like is a good baseline because it's 1 book a month. And I would also like to read 12 books by LGBTQ plus authors or that have LGBTQ main characters. I feel like I haven't been doing the best at reading LGBTQ plus books, so I want to make that a concrete goal. For me, the best way for me to make things happen is to have numbers associated with them. And I also want to read my 2019 TBR. That video is definitely up where I talk about 12 books that I want to read that have been on my TBR for a while that I want to get to this year. So if you want to hear about all those books, you can check out that video. This is kind of a stretch goal. I don't know. I want to participate in on average 1 readathon a month. I say on average because if 1 month I don't take part in any readathons, eventually maybe I'll take part in 2 readathons in 1 month, or maybe even 3. That's probably not going to happen. That seems very stressful, but I love readathons. I don't quite like doing reading vlogs when nothing's happening, so I like readathons, so then I can do a reading vlog for the readathon as well, and I just love readathons. So I want to make it a goal to take part in 12, I guess, in 2019. I was almost at 2018. It is January 1st. Oh, Happy New Year. This is the first video I'm filming in the new year, so yeah. And the last few reading-ish goals I have to do with my book buying and my acquiring of books. I'm putting myself on a 3-book limit on NetGalley. I'm just so bad about NetGalley. A lot of the times I'll end up requesting a bunch of books at once, and then I often think that I won't get accepted for them, but then my channel is growing, and so I do have a bigger platform, so I do get accepted for more arcs than I expect to, and then I end up with a crushing weight of all of these advanced readers copies, which isn't a terrible problem to have, but I don't want to have that kind of pressure on me. So I'm limiting myself to only ever have 3 requests for books on NetGalley at a time, which means that I have to read and review books on NetGalley before I can request them. If I have 2 NetGalley arcs left that I haven't read, I can only request 1 more. So that's it. I don't know what to do about physical arcs quite yet because I am acquiring more of those as well. And the other issue I have with ARCs is that I do want to be reading more new releases. I'll talk about this in my 2018 reading stats and stuff, but I read a lot of new releases in 2018, and that was good because I like being able to talk about the books that are coming out and stuff. But I also do still want to read backlist books. Most of my shelves are backlist books. So I am at a weird place with ARCs now because I do like being able to read new releases and arcs are the easiest way to do that. Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but for NetGalley at least and Edelweiss, I'm combining them as one thing. I'm only ever allowed to have 3. For like buying books, I want to buy majority marginalized authors as well. In addition to reading majority marginalized authors, I'd like to have my spending on books reflect that as well. So 51% of the books that I acquire in 2019, I would hope to be by marginalized authors. So we're gonna get to my book buying budget, which also has to do with me reducing my TBR, because that's what it's down to. I didn't count this year. Usually I do count how many TBR books I have, but I still have yet to unpack the rest of my books from the boxes, which is why the shelf on top of me is empty. I'm pretty sure I have more books than I had last year. And I also acquired more books even after I did that book haul where I was literally like, I'm not getting any more books this year. I literally, like the last week of December, I went on a kind of a book buying spree. It's fine. This book buying budget ban, whatever, is going to be the same as last year's, kinda. And you might be like, Lucy, if last year's didn't work, why would you do it again? And I would say you're probably right. But I don't know how to learn my lesson, so I'm going to try again, see what happens. And to keep myself more accountable, I'm planning to do 3 book hauls this year, and I'm going to do one quarterly where I haul all the books that I got and update you guys how I'm doing on my book buying budget, and then you guys can hopefully hold me accountable. It's all up to you. But basically for my book buying budget, I have to read 3 books that I physically own before I can buy 1 new physical book. And similarly for ebooks, I have to read 3 ebooks that I own in order to buy 1 ebook. Books that I have already read will not count towards this. If I read a book from like the library, or I read like my ebook version of it and then I buy it, it doesn't count, because this is really about getting my TBR down. And it's not really about the money for me. I buy the majority of my books on sale, and the ones that I do buy full price are for like a reason. Like some of the books that I bought full price are because I was at book signings and stuff. Like my book buying isn't putting me into like bankruptcy or anything. Like it's not affecting my budget in any way, but I just don't like having all these books on my TBR, because now when I buy a book, I feel like a sense of guilt because of my TBR. Like in the back of my head, it's like, oh, should I buy this? But I should be reading a book off my TBR. And I really want to be able to get back in the habit, because before Booktube, so this is like one thing Booktube has changed about me, but before Booktube, I used to get a book and then I'd read it immediately, and like that was that. Or like I'd get a book and like I'd keep it for like maybe a couple months, but I'd get to it definitely in a reasonable amount of time. Like I'd see a book, be excited about it, and then read it. And now I get a book and I stick it on my shelf because I'm like, oh, I have other books that I've owned for longer that I should be reading. And I don't want to do that anymore. So also to encourage that, books that I buy in 2019 will count for 2. So the way I did this last year and the way I think I'm gonna do this year is basically I just use credits, kind of. Like I have a spread in my bullet journal, and like every book that I read, I get 1 credit. And then every book that I buy, I lose 3 credits. So books that I buy in 2019 will count for 2 credits. Every other book that I own will count for 1 credit. And also for ebooks, I would like to only purchase ebooks by marginalized authors. For physical books, it's not quite as realistic, because most of the new releases I buy, I do usually try and get like a physical copy. I really only buy ebooks on sale. When I buy an ebook, it's definitely more like in the moment thing. Like I'll get an email that says, oh, these ebooks are on sale. They're only $1.99. Like if you watch my book hauls, all of the books that I got, I was like, oh, I don't know, I bought it because it was $1.99. And so it's more like that than I really wanted to read this and I really wanted an ebook copy. And so since I'm already doing that, I want to like, again, put my money where my mouth is and support more marginalized authors. I do want to be more aware of where my money is going, and I feel like I haven't really been doing that as much as I could. And so those are all my reading and book buying goals. Let's talk about my Booktube goals. I have like a couple of those, not that many. First, I want to like upgrade my quality. I'm still working on it. I've been doing it, and thank you so much for everyone who has like filled out the survey that I did about my channel. It's closed now, but I just want to thank you guys. I am planning on doing like a video where I go over like the stuff people said in the survey, just because, I don't know, I think it'd be fun and interesting. A couple of people did talk about my quality, and so I'm trying to upgrade. I do have like umbrella lights now. I'm not using them now because it's daylight, so hopefully this doesn't look bad. And I feel like some of my videos have like good quality, and then some of them just don't. And like I want to have consistently good quality, and so I want to figure out how to make that happen. I want to post 4 to 6 videos a month, which is kind of what I was doing this past year. Although in the second half of the year, I definitely increased the amount of videos I was making, because one of my goals last year was to make less videos. Now I'm trying to make the same amount of videos to more. Yeah, so 4 to 6 videos a month. I want to have a video posted every Sunday and sometimes Wednesdays, but we'll see what happens. Don't take my word for that. That's not my official schedule, but there will definitely be a video every Saturday or Sunday. And now I have 2 more social booktube goals. These goals kind of go together. I want to do a live show and take part in a book club. So I don't want to host my own live show just because I don't know what I would do, but I want to be a part of someone else's book club, like maybe a guest host or something, and like do a live show with them. And I feel like I've slowly become more social on Booktube, so I want to like up that and like actually take initiative to like do that. And yeah, so if you want to start a book club, but I don't want to like be a part of a book club every month because I don't think that'll be realistic for me. Like I want to be like a guest host on occasion on someone else's like book club. So if you're planning on hosting a book club or doing a live show for like a book or something, let me know. Let your girl know. I really want to do that this year. Speaking it into existence, hopefully. And the second part to go with that is I want to host a readathon. So this could also work for the live show as well, because I know a lot of people for readathons host like a live show just to like introduce the readathon or like whatever. So that could also be it. But I was almost kind of part of this with the Kwanzaa Reflective-a-thon, but it wasn't really a readathon. It was just something where you talk about it, but I did do a video for it, and I'm so thankful she asked me to do that. But yeah, so I want to host a readathon where you read books and there's like reading challenges and like run Twitter spins and stuff. This one I'm more willing to like work with someone or something to have a readathon. If someone else has an idea, let me know. Or if someone else just is hosting a readathon and is looking for hosts, let me know. Yeah, just because once again, I just want to be more social and I think it'll be fun. Those are all my Booktube goals. Those are all my 2019 reading and Booktube goals. Thank you so much for watching. In the comments down below, let me know what some of your reading goals are. And if you have a channel, let me know what some of your Booktube goals are. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a video. And follow me on all my social media, Twitter, and Goodreads is my only social media, basically. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!